new head coaches throughout the NFL. There were 7 head coaching vacancies at the end of the season, at the end of the 2024 season. Now 6 of them have been filled. And we'll start with the first one. New England Patriots have now signed Mike Vrabel, the former Tennessee Titans head coach and former Patriots player. Well, again, we talked about how there might have been something in the contract of Belichick where they had to hire somebody on his staff. Yeah, if that's the case, Vrabel took a year off. Now he's in New England, as well as Josh McDaniels is also returning to New England as their offensive coordinator. So they're kind of getting the band back together in New England just a little bit. Some of those old coaches and players who were successful in the past to help Drake May in his development here in New England. And they were a little surprisingly decent last year at times. Yep. So give him a couple years, get a couple good drafts. And if Vrabel is as good as many hoped he would be in Tennessee with maybe a better, general manager and, better players, maybe something could come out of this in New England. I hate to say it because I'm not a big New England fan, but without Belichick and Brady, it's a little less of a sting for sure. But Robert Kraft's still there. But thoughts on Mike Vrabel?
That's who they wanted from the jump.
Yeah, it sounds like they
Everybody
did even
knew
last year.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
But the way they did Gerard Mayo was foul.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. And like I said, he even had the team with a bunch of no names was playing okay at times. So in a way, he kind of got the shaft, but New England gets their guy. A couple other teams who got their guy. The Chicago Bears have finally found a head coach with the Lions offensive coordinator going to a division rival of the Bears. Ben Johnson is now the head coach of the Bears. I don't know.
Man,
he obviously did some good things.
Happy with him.
No, well, the Lions fans ain't happy in general after these next 2 hires, but losing their offensive coordinator to the Bears, obviously he did a lot for Jared Goff. Can he do the same for Caleb Williams in Chicago? Time will wait. We'll have to wait and see. But the other side of the Lions, the defensive coordinator, is now the Jets head coach. So the Lions have now lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. Still got their head coach in Campbell, but at the same time, Aaron Glenn now becoming the Jets head coach. Probably not going to have Aaron Rodgers next year. We'll see how this goes. But a defensive-minded guy with a defense who's solid at times with the right coaching. But yeah, so this could be a good thing for the Jets too. Of course, everything looks promising at this point. You can't go anywhere but up for a lot of these teams. But so in that case, good to see that. Good for the Lions coordinators getting hired. Another
probably cold that day,
brother.
Wild.
Really? I mean, really? You just
like bullets.
Could cut glass with that. But anyway,
let's
moving on.
This conversation.
Another offensive coordinator from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is now the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Liam Cohen will be taking over that job down there with the Khan family, Shad and Tony, all them guys down there in Jacksonville. So as a AFC South divisional rival with the Colts, I kind of hope they stink. But at the same time, good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They get their guy eventually here. And we had a couple signings today, as a matter of fact. We got apparently 71-year-old, I believe, Pete Carroll. I think that's how old he is now going to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. The former Seattle Seahawks coach signs a 3-year deal with an option for a 4th year. So he could potentially be 75, 78 years old, or however old he might be. I think he might be 74 now that I think about it, actually. So whatever it is, I know they did say he is now officially the oldest head coach in NFL history by coming in. Yeah, that's him. He looks good for 74.
Yeah.
And not only that, when he's on the sideline, he looks in good shape. He's always got a lot of energy.
Down the field. Man, Seattle played the shit out of him too, though. That was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I got a 70-year-old working for me, and he cuts wood every day, and he's like, "That's how I stay in shape." And he's
I bet it is too.
He's got so much freaking energy.
The older I get, the more I realize the more you move, the better off you'll be. I just need to get to moving for sure. No doubt about it. So yeah, good to see Pete Carroll take that year off from Seattle and have a job last year.
Yeah, I think he's going to do
well. Not only that, think of this. Adam Schefter pointed this out, so I can't take credit. But the 4 head coaches now in the AFC West include Andy Reid with the Chiefs, Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers, Sean Payton with the Broncos, and now Pete Carroll with the Raiders. That is a combined 20 conference championship appearances and 9 Super Bowl appearances between the head coaches. So that division could be stacked next year. So yeah, that's crazy to think about. But right before we got on the podcast tonight, we had the 6th coach be signed, and now the Dallas Cowboys have their guy, their offensive coordinator. Brian Schottenheimer has now officially become the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So,
Oh my God.
yeah, so they looks like they promoted from within, and after many, many years in the league, he finally gets his first head coaching gig with the Cowboys. So we'll see how that goes. And now the only team that does not have a head coach as of right now is the New Orleans Saints. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes.
McCarthy
But
could go to the Saints.
who?
McCarthy could go to the Saints.
That's possible. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of candidates out there at the moment. I mean, I guess there's some coordinators you can still go and, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But yeah. Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our live podcast almost every single Friday night here on the channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.